All right, back on the bike trail. We're heading southwest, and I think that's Lower Gar Lake up ahead. So we are actually biking past Arnold's Park Amusement Park and further into the township of Arnold's Park. Another random fact, I used to play baseball right here back in junior high. One of the coolest tree houses I have ever seen. Look at this, shipwrecked. That is so cool. Look at that, it's an actual ship. That's awesome. There's even like a little library right here along the bike trail. If you want to grab a book to go. All right, well, this part of the trail in Arnold's Park goes through kind of a residential neighborhood. You can see the path. There's still kind of an obvious path just going through residential streets. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. So what's kind of cool, I guess, about the Great Lakes Trail is expect a lot of different types of terrain. Well, even though you're basically on asphalt the entire time, you're going through, nature trails, residential trails, highways, and amusement park strips. So a little bit of a variety, and of course the lake shores. That's one thing that ties this whole trail together. So I've noticed a lot of the playgrounds here in Arnold's Park Township, the playgrounds themselves are not caution taped off, they're open. So I think kids are free to play at them. So I think it really just depends on what township you're in as to whether or not they're open. This whole pandemic is very confusing. Here's a cool bridge that passes Lower Gar, another one of the Iowa Great Lakes. It's a good sized lake in itself. And I believe that's East Lake Okoboji that this little harbor connects to. So it's East Lake to Lower Gar. Nobody on the lake. That's really weird. It's very weird. All right, so we're leaving that little residential area and it looks like we're going back into nature. See a forested area up here. I haven't been on this leg of the trail probably in 15 or 20 years. Usually I stop at the bridge previously, the bridge that divides East Lake and West Lake Okoboji, the old railroad bridge. It's been a long, long time since I biked in this part of the trail. So this is Arnold's Park on the way to Milford, another town just south of the lakes area. Oh, this is a hill. Holy cow. I had to put you guys down there. That hill was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Had to switch up the gears. Feels good to coast. It's really pretty over here though. It's really quiet. I think there's a campground up ahead and a really cool bridge, if I remember right. So we'll find out here shortly. I had to stop. I saw this plaque from the state of Iowa for the Henderson Pioneer Homestead. It says that near the site was located the homestead of the Zena Henderson family, early Lakes region pioneers who settled in this area in 1864. The original Henderson homestead grant was signed by President Ulysses S. Grant on May 30th, my birthday, 1873. Prior to this historic settlement of the 1800s, this point on Lake Minnewaska and Lower Gar Lake was frequented by Native Americans, as evidenced by numerous campsites and archaeological findings. This tract is part of an officially designated century farm. So that's awesome. And that's very true. Oh, there's that bridge I was talking about. I'll break the camera out there here shortly too. And that's very true. This whole region was frequented by Native Americans for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. In particular, the Dakota Sioux tribe was very prevalent in this region. In fact, not too far away from here in southwest Minnesota are a lot of sacred Indian grounds. Pipestone, Minnesota, for one, is a very sacred place for Indians. In fact, that's where peace pipes were made from. They were made from Sioux quartz that was taken from the Pipestone region. And that's not far from here. I'd love to do a vlog up there one of these days too. Also, Jeffers Petroglyphs is a massive rock outcropping not too far away from here either in southern Minnesota. They have hieroglyphics, well, petroglyphs which are stone carvings done in the rock from ancient native tribes. In fact, a lot of archaeologists project that some of these could be 7,000 years old. So there's been a Native American presence in this area for thousands of years, for a long, long time. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Again, I don't want to get too much into all of that. There's an Abbey Gardner cabin museum located near Arnold's Park Amusement Park. That's one of the few surviving cabins from the settlers during the Spirit Lake Massacre. It's when a renegade band of Dakota Sioux Indians sought their vengeance on the settlers here in the Spirit Lake region. And that happened back in 1857. I wanted to correct myself. I think earlier on the beach I said 1858. It actually happened in the winter of 1857. But anyway, gives you a little bit of knowledge here. There's a lot of history here in the Iowa Great Lakes region. And it's a beautiful region. I could see why people want to settle here. So let's carry on towards the bridge. All right, well, I decided to take this foot trail. Look at this, leading right into the woods. This was right behind that marker for the cabin. So let's, I'm gonna just explore this a little bit. Let's take this up and see where it goes. I doubt that there's any remains of the old pioneer cabin out here. But let's take a look. It's really pretty out. The nice thing about this today is there's like no bugs out yet. It's been a really cool spring so far. So there's like no mosquitoes out yet, no flies, nothing like that. So it's beautiful. I love it. It's a lot easier to hike into the woods right now. So let's take a close look to see what's out here. I'm walking because my bike is a road bike. It's not a mountain bike. But let's see what's up here. Oh, wow. Check this out. There's some kind of foundation out here. Dude, look at that. Obviously, that's not a pioneer cabin because those were all made out of logs, but there is a concrete foundation right there. I'm wearing biker shorts, so I do not want to get into poison ivy today, so I'm going to try to stay on the trail, but that's super cool. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. So while I'm walking on this bike trail, we're not too far away from Camp Foster. It's a YMCA camp that's been here in the Okoboji region for a long, long time, decades. When I was a kid in the late 90s, I spent several summers at Camp Okoboji, and it was a lot of memories there, a lot of fun. It's your classic summer camp. And some of the cabins, well, they're no longer there, but some of the original cabins from settlers, pioneer settlers, and some of them that were massacred in the Spirit Lake Massacre were located in the Camp Foster grounds. So there was always a lot of folklore and campfire ghost stories about the ghosts from the Spirit Lake Massacre that still roam the woods around Camp Foster. And there was a popular story about, I think his name was John Howe. I could be wrong on that, but one of the settlers who was decapitated by a Sioux Indian warrior with an axe, his green floating head was said to float in the woods at night around the tents at Camp Foster. So that was a popular ghost story. We're always afraid of the green floating head of John Howe, one of the settlers killed in the Spirit Lake Massacre. Gotta love folklore. Well, I think we're coming to the end of the trail here. This is really interesting. It's like I guess there's a gate here. Okay, so this is private property. Interesting. Well, turn back. This is like one of those moments where if I see a hockey mask, I'm going to be jumping through that gate as fast as I can. Faster than you. I don't know what I'm trying to compare that. Anyway, if I see a hockey mask, I'm going to be jumping that fence. I don't care if it's private property. Hello. All right. Got some more people here. I have to make room. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Good. All right, so we'll head back to the main bike trail. Hopefully I don't see the green floating head of John Howe out here in the woods. Oh shit, that was a bumblebee. Pardon my French. I hate bumblebees. Those things can be vicious. But yeah, no, I love urban legends. I love folklore. I'm a history buff. And the Spirit Lake Massacre is no folklore. That really happened. It was documented. There's many books written about it. I do believe in ghosts, although I'm also kind of skeptical at the same time. I'm kind of weird like that, but I have had some weird paranormal experiences that I can't explain. Man, I really want to explore that, but I shouldn't. It's just a stone foundation, and I don't want to get poison ivy over Memorial Day weekend. But no, I'm a huge fan of folklore, horror movies, campfire tales. Spirit Lake, the woods out here in this lake region, be a perfect setting for a horror movie. It really would. Look at this. Yeah, and Camp Foster isn't the only camp they have here. They have many camps scattered throughout the lakes region here. Thousands of kids attend them every summer. And that's been going on for probably 100 years, maybe longer. Any of you guys watching this ever attend a summer camp? Do you have any good memories of it? Okay, we're almost off this forest trail, and I did not come upon the floating head of John Howe, so that's good. Why was the head green? I have no idea. That was the story we told. We always said it was a green floating head that would peer into your window, your cabin windows at night, to make sure that you were asleep and not sneaking out into the woods at night. It scared the heck out of me as a kid, though. I will say that. It scared the heck out of me. All right. Let's head back and check out the bridge up here. Taking a breather at this massive bridge for the lakes area. All right, well, as you can tell, the wind here was god awful, and I didn't have a dead cat microphone at the time when I filmed this, so just wanted to give you guys a little inside scoop on what's going on here. This lake I'm pointing at right here is Lake Minnewaska, and this lake on this side of the bridge is Lower Gar Lake. These are more decent-sized lakes that are part of the Great Lakes region, along with East and West Okoboji and Big Spirit Lake. These are a little more isolated, located in the southeastern edge of the Iowa Great Lakes area, so you get a lot more privacy out here. There's not as many boaters, not as many fishermen out on the lake. You can see I'm really the only one out there on this windy, cloud-covered day. Yeah, just taking a breather. It's nice to get off the bike and just take in some of the scenery. Beautiful out, really is. It's also very quiet. Another thing that surprises me is I don't see anyone fishing. Usually there are people fishing off the shores here. I don't see anybody except for the boat, but nobody on the shore. It's a little unusual, but let's keep biking on. We're heading towards Milford Township. Right now we're still in Arnold's Park. You can see the Arnold's Park water tower over there in the distance. So Milford is the next stop. Let's go. Back at it, into nature. There's Getmeouttahere. It looks like there might be a campground up here. I see a couple picnic tables. Of course, nobody is camped out right now. I think the campgrounds are still closed, possibly due to the pandemic. I don't know. Or it just might be that the weather this spring really hasn't been that great. It's been a very cool and cloudy spring so far throughout the Midwest. Wow, you can see a lot of oak trees in this part of the trail, and there's a small trailer park, and it looks like this is going to turn onto a highway up ahead. So I just left this camping area. It's called Lower Gar Park Access. So that's a small campground along Lake Getmeouttahere and the Lower Gar. And it looks like we are now going to be biking on the highway for a little bit. I can see there's the bike sign for the trail. Keep on the right lane. Well, that's why I got the road bike for the highways if I need it. So I think there's just a small segment of the trail here along this highway, and then it should pick up again into the normal bike trail and onward to Milford, which is the next community on the south end of the Iowa Great Lakes region. So let's go. All right, so we're off the highway. Here's a nice little wetland area. And it said, there was a sign right back there, it said Milford 3 miles. So we're still at the south end of Arnold's Park, but we're en route to Milford. These are just wetlands. So I think we're back in nature again, heading south. Take a look at these beaver dams. There's one right there. And there's another one right next to it. There. I don't see any beavers, but they're out here. I was also hoping to see some turtles, but I don't see any today. Doesn't seem to be any around here. It's still pretty cool out, but they usually come out this time of year. Very, very cool. There have been mountain lion spottings in this region as well. In fact, people have seen mountain lions occasionally on these bike trails. So I'll keep my eyes peeled. Who knows, I could come across a mountain lion. They are starting to move eastward into parts of western Iowa and western Minnesota. So it's not unusual to see mountain lions now in these neck of the woods. I am now in the township of Milford on the southern leg of the Iowa Great Lakes Trail. And I wanted to stop here and point out behind me, past this field, there used to be a water park called Okoboji Bay, located here in Milford, Iowa, in the southern region of the Iowa Great Lakes. And it was a really fun water park. They had a lot of water slides, they had a wave pool. It was a pretty good sized water park for a region like this. Unfortunately, it closed a little over a decade ago, but I have a lot of fond memories at Okoboji Bay. A few of my friends in high school and junior high also lifeguarded there long time ago in the late 90s. 90s, early 2000s. But I had to point that out. Kind of crazy how things change, but a lot of memories still remain. But over there was where Boji Bay Water Park was once located here in Milford, Iowa. Holy cow, look at this. This is awesome. There's like a swinging bench that I just stumbled upon right on the side of the bike trail. This is awesome. So you just take, oh, this is super comfy too. You just kick back and relax. I love this. This is on the southern stretch in Milford. How cool is this? They have a swinging bench on the bike trail. Now, if I only had a cold beer in my hand, oh, that would be paradise. I'm still gonna have a beer at a bar. I'm looking forward to that, but this is pretty cool. Oh, just chilling on the bike trail. It doesn't get better than this. It looks like it might rain, so I probably should keep moving, but how cool is this? Oh. Okay, onward. All right, made it to Milford. There's the water tower. There's not really much here to look at except for an industrial, kind of an agricultural area, but the trail continues on. So I'm gonna take this residential road and keep going. So I talked about the Three Sons earlier on this video. This is the original Three Sons located here in downtown Milford. This is the store that started it all. The University of Okoboji was born out of this building and these three brothers. So let's go inside and take a peek. Hey, good, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Good.
Hey, welcome aboard.
So you can see they have lots of Okoboji, Iowa Great Lakes region t-shirts. They've got bags, gym bags with University of Okoboji on it. It's all kinds of really cool, unique clothes that you can buy here at the Three Sons. They also have a lot of Hawkeye gear in this place. In Nebraska, I guess, but house divided, University of Okoboji and Iowa. That's what's important. So it's a great local clothing shop. Every time I come back home, I have to come here, do some browsing, buy some things. Let's check out what they have upstairs. Usually they have sales up here, hence the sign. There's more University of Okoboji sweatshirts up here. Here they've got the Fighting Phantoms. Right there on another sweater. I've actually got one of these at home. It's like a workout shirt, sporting University of Okoboji. So yeah, a lot of great brand names with the University of Okoboji logo on it, located here at the Three Sons. I'm going with another bumper sticker for my car because the one I've had for the past year is started to get eaten away, starting to fall apart. But yeah, I like coming here. Highly recommend when you're in the Okoboji area. This is actually located in Milford, Iowa. So come check it out. All right, so still in Milford. I've left that kind of an agro residential area. I'm back on a normal bike trail. Looks like it's leading me out into some more farmland, some green pastures ahead of me here. So let's see where this goes. And there it is. If that's what I see, the sign here reads Bike Lane Ends. This is the end of the southern portion of the Iowa Great Lakes bike trail, right here. All right, well, I've made it to the end of the Iowa Great Lakes bike trail. The neighbors here are mowing their lawn, so it might be kind of loud, but this is the end. Managed to bike just over 11 miles from downtown Spirit Lake all the way down to Milford Township. That is where this bike trail ends. And you can see there's a little bit of kind of a roundabout thing, but this is the end of the trail. Hello. I don't know if he's used to seeing this or not, but anyway, thanks for tagging along, guys. I hope that this gave you a better idea of what the Spirit Lake Okoboji Iowa Great Lakes region is like. There's a lot of bike trails throughout this region. In fact, tomorrow I think I'm going to bike the northern half of this bike trail. This is actually the southern half from downtown Spirit Lake to Milford Township. So hopefully that's something I can show you guys here in the near future. Hit the dusty trails up there again. But anyway, thanks for tagging along. I hope you learned something today. And if you're ever in the state of Iowa, make a trip up to Okoboji here in the northwest part of Iowa, the Iowa Great Lakes. It's a blast. You'll love it, I promise. But with that being said, it's time for me to get out of here. I'll see you guys later. And just to document, it took me, it was about 11.1 miles, so just about 11 miles to make it here to the end. Of course, I took a couple detours on the way and stopped at Arnold's Park Amusement Park. So in reality, it's probably a little bit shorter than that, but that's how far I've biked to get to the end. We're heading back northbound. Hopefully I can find a bar to grab a drink at. But as you can see, the road that the trail ends on is the Old Mill Road. Like Scoob, there's a ghost in the old mill. What am I doing? All right, let's head back. The bike ride was a success. I had to stop and celebrate and have the first drink I've ever had in public since March 17th. So cheers, guys. Tastes like freedom. Oh, this is so relaxing. I just need somebody to push me now. That's it, I'm not moving. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna take a nap.